Salim, hold this for 1 minute while I put the microphone on, brother.
Okay. When you say it jumps into existence, remember, it was nothing. Imagine, I'm going to give you an example.
Okay.
Suddenly, money comes into my bank account.
Yeah.
I need to know where the money comes from.
Yes.
Right? Money. Yeah. So either money is created. There you go, money, suddenly someone creates the money and money is there, or money is borrowed from somewhere.
Correct.
So, in your example, the universe, which is energy, right?
Sort of.
Is the universe energy?
Sort of.
Does it possess energy?
Yes.
Good. Can energy be created or destroyed?
Not under the current laws, no.
So, under which laws can the universe energy be created?
Before the universe, there are no laws.
So, according to you,
yes,
energy can be created?
Yes, but when there are no laws to prevent it being created, it can be created.
No. Why do you assume there are no laws?
Because if there were laws...
Were you there?
No.
No. So what's your assumption based on, that there are no laws?
Because it's under the terms of the definition of nothing.
Sorry. The universe possesses energy.
Correct.
Energy can come from nothing, can be created. That's your position.
Only if there are no laws that prevent it from being created. Only if there are no laws for prevention to be created.
Excuse me, can you not put on someone's face, please? Yeah? Energy
Correct.
can come from nothing when there's no laws.
Correct.
Right. So when there was absolutely nothing,
yes,
how does it become something?
It just jumps into existence.
No, that's not a good explanation, is it?
I think it's pretty good.
Okay. God exists.
No.
God just exists.
No.
Why isn't that a good explanation?
Because why do we need him to exist?
No, it's not why we need it.
Yeah.
I've explained the existence of God because God just is. Yeah. Just like you explained, it just jumps.
Okay.
So now, God exists, right, according to this?
Well, if you want to set up like a two-statement logical thing, where God exists, therefore he exists, yeah, you can have that. But I'm not going to get engaged in that debate. This chap here wanted to know...
No, forget about this chap.
No.
We want to talk about the origin of energy. So you believe energy...
But you want to talk about that. I find it very interesting to talk about.
Is it because, isn't this discussion interesting rather than trying to explain something in the middle? Let's go back to the origin. Yeah. Nothing produces something.
Correct.
Yeah. So nothing wasn't something then?
Nothing wasn't something then.
Yeah. But it became something.
So there was nothing and then it became something.
Yeah.
Yes,
nothing which has no properties.
Yes.
Yeah. No laws.
Yes.
It becomes something.
Correct.
How does it become?
It just jumped into existence.
So it just happens is a good explanation.
For me, yes.
Not for you, for everyone. For scientists, for philosophers, for people with intelligence and rationality and reason. Yeah, it just is. It just happens is a good explanation in science, in philosophy, in logic, in rationality. Is that your position?
But when we get to a point where our measurements are unable to be attained, then yes, we must put the placeholder of we do not know how this happened, so we will just draw it here and say it jumped into.
No,
we have
to search.
Brother,
sorry.
This universe came from green flying turtles.
Okay.
Do you accept the explanation?
Well, where's your evidence that it came from green flying turtles?
Where is your evidence something just is? It just jumped in. Where's your evidence? You asked me for evidence.
Yeah, that's what I did.
So provide your evidence for your claim that it just jumped into existence from nothing.
Okay. So we're in a highly speculative area, yeah? I hope you would agree. Because it's very difficult to measure outside of the universe. Before time existed.
Did you give me this opportunity or the disclaimer, we're in a highly speculative area, so why do you even ask for an evidence for my claim? It came from green turtles. When you are now confronted with your position to explain it rationally, you are now giving all these disclaimers.
What's your question?
Is that it? Is the discussion over or is it coming back?
What's your question?
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's because, I did ask you for the evidence, but that's your failure to not set up the framework for the answer of producing the evidence.
Framework, it just is.
No,
do you not accept that? It just is. I thought this is how you operate. It just is. So I give you a likewise explanation. It just is. Be consistent in your
You said it
approach.
came from green turtles.
Yeah, it just is. It just is.
Yes.
It came from the green turtle. That's how it is. That's the way it is.
Yeah, well, okay. So you think it came from green turtles?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. So do you accept that?
You think, so you
No,
think,
not me. Do you accept it?
I'll show you. So I'll say, you think the universe came from a green turtle, yeah? I'll say,
It's all I believe, but if I were to offer you an explanation of the origin of the universe,
Yeah.
okay, a silly explanation
Yeah, yeah.
from a green flying turtle,
Yeah, yeah.
now, if you don't accept it, you have to give me your reasons why you don't accept it.
okay, I'll say, because recent experiments in science, I hear, depict that the subatomic particles and subatomic levels act very strangely, yeah? We get particles jumping into existence
From what?
from space-time fabric.
That's something.
Yes, it is something.
So it didn't come from nothing.
That's
so it
correct.
doesn't support you.
No, it doesn't.
Right. So it supports me. It comes from something.
It guides me in the direction of saying, when we look very deep, we don't see green turtles. We see subatomic particles.
Yeah, but still, it comes from something.
That's very true.
Good.
But
So how is that supporting your claim?
Because when
offer
we look at-
explanation which supports your claim.
Okay, because when we look at it, we see, oh look, this looks very odd. Things are just jumping into existence.
They don't jump into existence. They don't just jump into existence. They come from, it's a transformation from one form to the other. While they were not in this reality, they were in a different reality because they were quantum fluctuations. Yep.
What I'm saying, if you think you understand the famous, if you think you understand the quantum rules or whatever,
Do you?
No.
Don't talk about it then.
I am
Let's
now.
talk about something that we both can understand and have a common ground.
I agree. The planet. Let's learn how the planet came into existence. The Earth, the sky, the grass, the trees, the animals. We know about this. It's evolution and planet theory. But I think we're done, aren't we?
No, we're not. Why do you not accept an explanation that the universe just is, it came from green turtles? Rather than your explanation, it came from nothing.
Okay. Because it's more. First of all, your idea is more complicated because you have to explain the existence of a green turtle.
So if it's complicated, it's probably not true. Is that what you're saying?
No. It just makes it harder to explain.
You know what? It's not. Look, theory of relativity. Do you think everyone else, in fact, those who are not physicists and have studied this, it's easy for them to explain it?
Well,
Just because you can't explain it doesn't make it's not true.
well, Einstein said everything should be able to be explained to a barmaid.
So theory of relativity from Einstein is not a real theory. In fact, it's not true because it's difficult to explain.
No, that's not. No.
Then don't talk about complexity and difficulty in explanation. So just because something is complex, it doesn't make the claim that it's not true. So why is your claim that nothing can produce something? Have you seen any evidence in this world where this is happening? Nothing produces something.
Well, I'm told that we see very similar evidence when we get to the subatomic particles.
What's similar? It comes from something.
Yes.
So you haven't got anything
But
similar.
We see very odd properties of the subatomic
But
particles.
it doesn't come from nothing. So you haven't seen anything similar.
No,
Have
but-
you seen anything similar at all where nothing generates something in our reality?
Not yet.
Right. So you basically, your speculation about the universe came from nothing is merely a speculation with nothing to back up with.
It's got like a signpost, like a couple of miles back, that says "Go towards nothingness."
I don't get it at all.
Okay. So nothingness is the most basic state. If you go up from there,
Nothingness is the most basic state. Why?
I mean it's like the most default position. Like
That's why I asked you.
Exactly.
And what did you say to the answer to this question?
you were implying that nothingness would therefore lead to always nothingness.
I didn't say anything. I asked you what was the default position. Shouldn't nothingness be the default position? If there was nothing to begin with, shouldn't always be nothing?
No.
Okay, so what makes nothing generate something?
The fact that it's not a stable state.
Now you're going to Professor Lawrence Krauss's theories. So you're familiar with a little bit of his theories. Why is it not stable? Is there just nothing there? When you say it's not stable, what makes it unstable?
The lack of rules and structure.
But there is nothing there to be unstable of, or to be stable of. It's simply non-existence of anything. Any particles, any space, any matter, any energy. It's simply nothing there to have any kind of stability or instability.
But that's what you would imagine, yeah?
It's not imagining it, that's how it is. Because nothing is nothing.
But the instruments that we use to imagine things are very crude, yeah? They've evolved for X, Y, and Z.
So are you saying nothing is not nothing?
No, I'm saying that
nothing has something within it.
No, I'm saying nothingness is not a stable state.
You can't say it's not a stable state because nothingness is simply nothing. It doesn't have anything in it.
You can't redefine nothing.
Well, how would you define nothing?
It's already nothing.
Nothing.
Exactly, I agree.
Yeah, but you're not agreeing when you're talking to him. You're saying that there's unstable laws or lack of laws. That means there's very few laws.
No, nothing. It's
Yeah.
nothing.
So the question of instability doesn't apply because it simply has nothing in it.
Yeah.
It's not unstable. It's just non-existent.
Yeah, well, I'm not producing a physics paper here yet. I'm just giving you what
But give us a rational explanation of your position. Because you said you don't believe there is a God.
Correct.
Yeah, there is no God. You made a positive claim that God doesn't exist.
Yeah, something make it happen.
What is your evidence for the non-existence of God?
I haven't really got any evidence.
So it's your belief that God doesn't exist. Okay.
His side will come
Okay.
out the best. Whatever happens, the comments they'll say is that you've been defeated in your argument.
Are you done, mate? Are you done?
To make something happen, something makes it happen.
Sorry?
If it's nothing, it's nothing anyway. Huh? He's coming here. He's coming. The one with the glasses.
I mean, you're coming in. I'm in a debate I haven't been in, so I don't know where context we're talking about.
Do you know any of the latest published physics papers?
Not really. I'm just living a real life, basically, and seeing that this so-called supreme being doesn't.
No, we're waiting.
That's
He's
what
coming
I'm
back.
living,
Finished.
real life.
No.
Seeing that this doesn't seem to make sense, any of this God thing.
There is one principle
And it's very logical.
scientists, philosophers will agree on. That something cannot come from nothingness. You need to read more about this.
Sorry, I didn't hear that thing.
Something cannot come from absolute nothingness.
Well, that's your opinion.
It's not about my opinion. Find me one individual scholar who thinks this is the case and the reasons why this is the case.
Lawrence Krauss.
No, he doesn't say nothing is nothing.
What does he say?
So basically, again, you have not read his book or his lectures. You have studied it. His nothing is something.
Okay. Well, what is his something in the nothing?
You should ask him. He explains it in the book, actually. He explains his nothing in his book. Yeah, there's quantum fluctuations. So there are things within this nothing. So his nothing is not the philosopher's nothing, where it's absolute nothingness. So I understand and appreciate how he may have misled many people, and yourself included, because the universe came from nothing and everyone thinks, yeah, there you go. The universe came from nothing. This is very misleading. And I think he needs to come clean and say, look, the universe didn't come from nothing, it came from something, and my something is a little bit like something that you know of, but it didn't come from nothing. Yeah. So apart from him, and including him, because he doesn't believe something came from nothing, you cannot find a person, a scholar, who will give you reasons and his arguments or evidence where something can come from nothingness. Okay, well, okay. Yeah. So if something is here,
You gotta ask someone.
if something is here now, then there cannot be absolute nothingness ever in the past. There has to be always something.
Well, I've seen other people reason with very simple things like that. That's just far too simple to reason with.
That's the only rational explanation. If you are a rational person, this is something that you'll hold to making sense. If you say something is here, but yet at one point there's absolute nothingness, then you're saying nothingness generated something which is bizarre.
No. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's so brilliant.
It's just brilliant.
Yeah.
If I told you this camera just popped into existence from nothing, you believe, right? You would accept it. Of course you would. Because you accept that something can come pop into from nothingness.
I think
Why not?
That's what my framework was establishing. The framework was that we can't know before the universe. So we do need an explanation, such as the universe came from nothing.
That's not an explanation.
We need that explanation.
No, that is not an explanation. The universe began to exist. Something to begin to exist, it can't self-exist itself. It cannot self-begin. It cannot somehow become into existence by itself. Because prior to that, it was nothing. It didn't have the energy, the will, the consciousness for it to do something, because it simply didn't have any of those things.
It's the science of the gaps to say that it was nothing. Things formed from nothing.
There must be something in it, behind it.
Fill it up. That's what
Must be
it is.
something behind it to exist.
Think about it. Think about it.
Well, I think
Reason
you're all
with
totally
it.
wrong. And
No, you have to give us the reasons why you're wrong and help us to understand why this is wrong.
okay, because when we get to the limits of our knowledge and our ability to understand things, we need answers such as things just popped into existence. That's one placeholder. Yeah? You don't? Because otherwise you.
Why are you going to start assuming things when your knowledge starts getting limited? That's ignorant.
Because you need footing, you need guidance, you need stability. Otherwise, you'll just be floating the whole time. And I mean this in a thought way. Do you understand what I say there? Okay. It would endlessly annoy you, yeah? As I was trying to explain to the other person, how did the planets and sun come into existence? That's what he wanted to know, yeah? If you explain that, then the next one, it falls to the next one, doesn't it? Oh, how does the galaxy come into existence? How does the universe, yeah? And then if you don't have an answer such as it came into existence, you just get stuck there.
What was the cause of our universe? Because it came into existence. What caused it?
It just jumped into existence.
No, what caused it?
What are you saying that?
It's an effect, right? Jumping into existence, jumping is an effect. What was the cause?
You can change that to popped into existence.
Yeah, popping in
had no
into
cause.
existence
It had no
is an
cause.
effect. What was the cause?
It had no cause. It just happened.
So the effect proceeded without a cause. Do you see anything in reality that
Well,
with no cause things just happen and an effect happens?
the theory goes that we're under the laws of time, which cause causation. Without the laws of time, we would have no causation.
Your model of your universe,
Yes.
that it popped into existence,
Yeah.
what caused that popping in? What caused that jumping in?
No, it just happened.
So basically, you're saying the only explanation which makes sense is it just is. It just happened.
Yeah, I'm basing that on the elegance of it. It's just such a nice idea. And then second,
If it's nice, doesn't mean it's true.
I agree. And then secondly, the universe gets very strange when we look down into the deep downwards. Yeah. So the more I think it guides us towards that answer. That's what I think it guides us towards.
Based on what?
Based on Stephen Hawking's idea, and the idea that laws don't exist before the universe, so therefore causality doesn't exist, and also the conservation of energy doesn't exist.
Conservation of energy comes from where?
They're laws. They're
Right.
laws. Yeah?
So you're saying the laws are operating in our universe, and yet there are no laws beforehand. How do you come to this conclusion?
Well, yeah, it's not a physics paper that I'm submitting for peer review.
Yeah, agreed.
Of course.
It's just a discussion.
Yeah. So it's just a nice idea. It's just such a good idea.
No. Your idea needs to be something sensible. Otherwise, people will say, just trash that
I
idea.
would say a nice idea is to believe that there was a force.
And what do you think the cause was?
Like a force that's like more powerful, much greater energy than the energy that was created. Something that had intelligence, design, right? Like based on what we see in common sense in everyday life. Then to suddenly jump back and say, oh yeah, it just came from nothing.
Oh shit. Alright. He's just got you on your line. I'll just say one point. I'd say the problem with that idea is it develops from the human mind.
What mind do you want us to develop?
I mean,
For us to understand, it has to come from the human mind, right? Take care, man.
So always you have the key for the toilets.
no, so it's a car.
The car.
I say
To go to-
Maybe you're not phrasing it properly.
no, yeah, that's what I do. So imagine like a lion, It has perception vision, so it can thing, It also has a hierarchy, so it doesn't eat its cubs or whatever. So their biological, psychological. thought
Exactly.
The language of the universe is mathematics and physics. So your idea, an all-powerful thing, that's a very human story.
Sorry?
It's a very human story. It's a human story. It's made out of our mind. Our mind
But
is
where does maths and physics come from?
our mind.
Our minds, right?
Yeah.
I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
You're trying to say it sounds like a made-up story by human emotions.
Yes.
You're not saying human intellect. But that's not true, because it makes more sense for the Earth, everything we have, to have come from